Good evening, everyone. We'll start in a couple of minutes. If you need to gather any props you might need, a block or something like a block, a strap or something like a strap, blankets, cushions, towels. Maybe working your way towards Shavasana, coming onto your back. So good evening, my name is Satyam. I'll be leading your practice. As always, consult with a medical professional before beginning any exercise program. So if you're just joining in, if you can make your way to Shavasana, coming onto your back. Heels nice and wide to the edges of the mat. Toes fall out. Shoulder blades together on the back. Arms slightly away from your sides, palms are facing up. Softly closing your eyes. Long, slow inhales through the nose. Long, slow exhales through the nose. Seeing if you can slow the breath down. Longer inhales. Longer exhales. Every inhalation taking in peace. Every exhalation melting, softening a little more to your mat. Face is relaxed. Soften around the eyes. And just enjoying this time of stillness. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Just relax and breathe. Perhaps the chest is in neutral. Belly rises and falls with the breath. Setting a sankalpa, an intention for your practice. Something positive. Something that you feel a connection with. setting an intention and sankalpa for your practice. Something positive. Something you feel a connection with. If you don't have an intention for this evening's practice, perhaps thinking about how you feel about everything that's going on in the world, how you feel about yourself, what you're doing with your day, and why do you feel that way, or why do you think you feel that way? Speaking with someone today, and they had some things happening in their life, some work, some personal, some family, but they were feeling very demotivated, very out of sorts, feeling that so many things were on hold and they weren't sure what they should really be doing with themselves. So I asked that person, how they felt. Do they feel okay? Do they feel sad? Do they feel depressed? And she said, no, she feels okay. Just kind of that indefinable thing. Sometimes people will say out of sorts. Something you can't always put your finger on it. But clearly these are difficult times. And even if you think that the outside world and what's going on is not affecting you, it is. So many dramatic changes, so much happening in the media. Sometimes it's a bit of a uphill battle to chart your own course. But I've talked about this before in other practices. You should set goals for yourself. Doesn't matter what it is. Something can take a day, something can take 6 months, something that can take 6 years. But we need to move towards something. Being static is never good. We need to give ourselves our own personal challenges. So perhaps tonight's intention might be, how will you challenge yourself? What goals will you set? Not necessarily in this practice, but just in general. Beginning to deepen the breath. Keeping the eyes closed, slowly turn the head side to side. And back to center. Bringing some movements to the hands, curling and uncurling the fingers. Movements to the feet, curling and uncurling the toes. Rolling out the wrists, both directions. Rolling out the ankles, both directions. Waking up the body. Ankles together, toes away from the shins, hands on top of the belly, palms down, fingers interlaced. Inhale the backs of the hands towards the sky, flip the palms. Exhaling over the top of your head towards whatever's behind you. Deep breath in. Letting go. Deep breath in. Letting go. Next inhale. As you exhale, both knees come into the chest, hands on top of knees or shins. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself some love. And you can rock side to side, back and forth, whatever feels good. And coming back to center, let's do some butterfly circles, butterfly wings. So you're going to keep the big toes together. Send the knees out left and right. Send the knees away from you. Bring them together, up the middle, out to the side, away, together, up the middle. Adding in the breath. Inhale as the knees move away, same movement. Exhale as the thighs come into the belly. Inhale as they move away. Exhale, thighs to the belly. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Exhale. Pause, knees to the chest. Big toes together. Inhale as you send the knees away, together, out to the sides, left and the right. Exhale as they come up towards the armpits. Back to center. Inhale, knees move away. Exhale, knees come up. Keep going. One more time around. And hug the knees back to the chest. Straighten the left leg out, holding the back of the right thigh. Gently straighten out the back of the leg, heel to the sky, and you're holding on the back of the leg, thigh. Try not to hold the back of the knee. It tends to bend the right knee. You just want to hold the back of the thigh. Keep the right knee nice and straight. Both feet are flexed, toes towards the shin, stretching the hamstring, biceps femoris. And gently release the leg down, breath in. Exhale, left knee to the chest. Hands to the back of the left thigh. Push out the left heel, sending it to the sky, feet are flexed. We'll bend the left knee as we bring it back to the mat. Swirl the foot on the mat, right knee bends, right foot on the mat. Knees are bent, feet are wide, arms at the T position, 90 degrees to the body. Breath in, exhale softly, both knees go to the right, maybe looking to the left. You want to deepen, flex the right foot, top of left knee, left thigh, make sure the knee's comfortable. Release the right foot. Inhale, knees to center. At the center, feet are still wide, knees are still bent. Exhaling, knees go to the left. Maybe looking to your right. Maybe flexing left foot, top of right knee, right thigh. Right shoulders on the mat. Remember, both sides may not be the same. Release that foot. Inhale, knees back to center. And a little windshield wipe of knees, side to side. Next time the knees go to the right, let's roll all the way to the right. Right arm's a pillow, left hand's in front of the heart. Push into left hand, extend top leg. Come to a comfortable seat. You can have ankles in line, Sukhasana, easy seated pose. Can be cross-legged, even lotus. Palms come onto the knees, just a couple of shoulder shrugs, shoulders up, back, down, forward, a couple of times around. Other direction. Okay, sit tall, open palms forward, arms T position, 9 degrees, breath in. Exhale, round the back, bring the hands across, touch opposite shoulders, drop the chin towards the chest, seated cat-cow. Inhale, open arms wide. As you exhale, this time different elbow on tops, we're alternating. Drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. 2 more, your own pace. And sit tall, hands on knees. One more little warm up, and then we'll get into our first yin pose, our first proper yin. Nice tall spine. Lean forward, straight spine. Lean to your left. Lean back and right. Forward. Doesn't matter which way you go. Both ways we're doing. I was doing left and right, front and back, clockwise, counterclockwise. Doesn't matter which side you do first. Reverse direction. And sitting tall. Send the legs out in front of you. Flex the feet. We're going to start with some versions or some asanas involving wide-legged forward fold. So keep in mind that obviously feet together, Dandasana staff. But if you had feet even to the edges of the mat, that would be considered a gentle version or a less challenging version of wide-legged fold. So you don't have to have the heels way out to the side. Find something that works for you. Setting up my timer. Hands alongside hips. Sit up nice and tall. And then rotate the center of the chest towards your right knee. Inhale the arms to the sky. Exhale, folding along the right leg. Turn the palms up, bend the elbows, and then round the forehead towards your right thigh. If you want to have a block or pillow or blanket or whatever works for you to help support the forehead, you should do that. Try to level out the shoulders. We're allowing the body to round. So staying in the pose. So remember, as always in our yin practice, you want to come into the poses slowly. Take your time. We're going to hold the poses typically 3 minutes, sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little shorter, depending on the nature of the pose. You always want to come out of the poses slowly. Sometimes we stretch tissues pretty deeply. We don't want things to snap back. So you want to come into it slowly, come out of it slowly. If a pose is uncomfortable, you want to come out of the pose and find something neutral and then join us when we move on. You may find after a minute or two that your body releases, relaxes, letting you go a little deeper, maybe going deeper on an exhale. And so we call this your edge. When you come to that place where you feel some tension, some tightness, you don't want to go any further. The body releases, goes deeper, and then you have another edge. So this is riding the edge. So you come to a first edge, pause 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. Go to the next edge, pause, and repeat as many times as you can comfortably during the pose. Whenever we switch poses or we switch sides of poses, you should take any movements you need to loosen things up before we move on. Just being organic, whatever the body needs. Keeping the feet active, toes are up to the sky. Less than a minute left on this side. Slowly finding your way back up. Take any movements you need to. Walk the hands over so you're trying to line the center of the chest with your left knee. Make sure your block is handy. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, folding along the left leg, level out the shoulders if you can, and then allowing the body to round towards your left knee, left thigh. Typically, elbows are bent, palms are up. Support the forehead with whatever you have. So this is a more meditative, contemplative practice. I always encourage students to close their eyes, turn their awareness inwards, feeling their body, quieting the mind. So we're not trying to distract ourselves from the pose. We're not worried about our to-do lists and what we're going to have for dinner and all those fun things. We're still in and of the moment, being aware of the sensations inside the body, being aware of our weight on the mat, being aware of the breath. We have the luxury here of time to really engage the body into the pose, to experiment with its reaction to how deep we're going. See what's changed from our last practice, what's the same, which side is which. Sometimes one side's tighter, sometimes that changes. Great opportunity to build on our mind-body connection. Slowly sitting tall. Take any movements you need to. Good. Hands alongside hips. Lift, lengthen. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold, coming down the middle. And same thing, we'll turn the palms up. Maybe we'll come through our block. If the angle of the legs is too wide, too much of a challenge, bring the heels together. If it's not enough of a challenge, send the heels wider apart. As always, let your body guide you. It has its own wisdom. The more you relax, connect to your breath, less tension you have in the body, the deeper you can go into the pose. Slowly walk the hands back. Sit tall. Bring the heels back together. You can use the hands to pop up the knees if you like. Take any movements you need for the knees, the hips, the low back. Good. Sitting tall again. You're going to take your right shin, flex a foot, and bring it across the front edge of the mat. From here, you're going to take your left knee. You're going to bring it just inside the arch of the right foot, flex the left foot, and then here's the sometimes tricky bit. Try to sit level. So you should be feeling it inside your left hip here. So we're trying to have both sit bones on the mat sit tall. If this left hip is way up in the air, you might want to take a towel or blanket or something and support it, and then try to bring yourself back to level. Hands can be just where you're comfortable, palms down. Maybe closing the eyes. Connecting to whatever sensation your left hip is sending you. You're trying to sit nice and tall, straight spine, and you're trying to bring left sit bone to the mat. Keeping the knees down. This is a deceptively simple pose. Depending on the range of motion of your hips, it can be a little bit intense. Some teachers call the sensation juicy, a juicy sensation in your hip. I had one teacher who, when she hit that sweet spot, she'd go, juicy, juicy, juicy. So the temptation is to lean to your right. Try to sit tall. That left sit bone is up. Keep trying to send it down. Lean to your right. Straighten the legs out. Take any movements you need to. Personally, I like to roll the toes all the way in and out. Good for the hips. Switching sides. Flexing left foot. Left shin is across the front edge of the mat. Right knee comes close to the arch of the left foot. Right foot is flexed. And same thing on the other side. Trying to sit tall. So if you find that your right sit bone's lifted, try to push it towards the mat. Sit as tall as you can. Ideally, both sit bones to the mat, both knees to the mat, tall spine. Leaning to your left. Straighten the legs out. And again, you can shake the legs out, roll the toes in and out, do some circles. It feels good loosening things up. Let's move the body around a little bit. So find your way into tabletop, hands and knees. Shoulders over the crease of the wrists, hips over the knees. Knees are hip distance apart. Back is flat neutral. And then keeping the shoulders where they are, just try to sort of move the hips side to side a little bit. And maybe round the back up and down, cat-cow. Going back to neutral table. So imagine the center of your spine, you have a pencil there taped to your back of your spine. It's pointing straight up. Take the tip of the pencil and draw the number 8 on the sky. Nice big 8. Nice slow 8. Switching direction. Still doing your 8. And make your way back to center. We're going to set up for Anahatasa, melting heart puppy pose. So hips stay directly over the knees, so thighs stay vertical. You're going to walk the chin, chest, heart forward, coming onto elbows, stacked hands. You can use blocks. We're trying to create a back bend. So we bring chin, chest, heart towards the mat. So remember, the hips are not going forward. The hips are not going back. Hips are right over the knees. You're trying to soften, melt the heart towards the mat. If you're going very deep in the pose, not that I am, this is too hard on my injured shoulders. But maybe your collarbones are on the mat. Maybe upper ribs are coming to the mat. Maybe you're trying to get lower ribs towards the mat. Staying in the pose a few more breaths. taking your time, nice and slow, come back up to your tabletop. So, Anahata Sun, melting heart, back bend, child's pose, forward bend. Tops of feet come onto the mat, big toes together. If you want the maximum counter stretch, you want knees together, but if you'd rather have knees wide, you can have knees wide. Sitting back on the heels, arms out in front of you. Sit back on the heels, forehead to the mat. Arms can be in front, arms can be behind, arms can go down the middle, whatever feels better for your shoulders. Let's slowly walk the hands back towards the body. Sit up onto the heels. Send the hips off to the side. Send the legs out in front of you. Take any movements you need to loosen things up. Feet to the edge of the mat, or end of the mat. Holding at the backs of the knees, back to the thighs. We'll come onto our backs. And keeping left leg where it is. Let's bring the arms out to T position, 90 degrees to the body. Just figure out the best angle for the camera. Let's try that. So we said right knee up. I'm going to do the other side for the camera. Right leg comes up. Arms T position, 90 degrees. Breath in. On the exhale, bring it across the body to the side and looking opposite the knee. So you want the top foot supported by something. So it can be resting on the bottom leg, or you can extend it onto a block or some support with the knee bent, or a little deeper, you can have the leg straight. Regardless of what you're doing, you want both shoulders on the mat and the top knee is coming across, giving you the twist. And then soften and relax. We're going to make this a long hold. It'll be a final asana, both sides, of course, before we come to Shavasana. Twists are great for slowing down the central nervous system, helping us fall asleep. Great for lengthening the spine, combating the effects of gravity, pulling us shorter all day. And it sends spinal fluid to the soft tissues of the back, helping to lubricate and soften all the discs. And very rejuvenating pose. Sometimes students ask about, they get tingles, weird sensations in the fingers and hands. It usually means the twist is compressing a nerve a little bit. Sometimes you get used to it over time, but I would encourage you to back out of the pose a little bit. Don't go so deep until the tingles go away. And then experimenting over time meaning months, with going a little deeper. But if you do get that tingling sensation, you definitely don't want to go deeper into the pose. Don't forget to ride your edge. See if you can deepen the pose, while of course listening to your body. And slowly make your way back to center. Take any props along the way if you need to. Switching legs. Breath in. On the exhale, bring the top leg across the body. So remember, the top foot can be on the bottom knee, can be on the mat, either side. You can have a block under the knee. or deeper, straighten the leg out. You want the top leg anchored, meaning you don't want it hovering, so you want it on something. Both shoulders stay on the mat. And we'll slowly bring the top knee back in. Let's bend both knees, both feet on the mat. Little windshield wipe knees side to side. And then finding your way lengthways on the mat. Coming to Shavasana, final posture. Heels are nice and wide. Toes fall out. Bring the shoulder blades together onto the back. Arms away from your side. Palms are facing up. Arms slightly away from you. Eyes are still softly closed. Breathing in and out through the nose. Breathing from the belly. Soften the face, the jaw, the throat. Tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. Eyes fall back in their sockets. Deep breath in. Letting go. Perhaps coming back to your intention. Perhaps thinking about some new goal, some new challenge for yourself. Perhaps not a physical journey, but perhaps some new personal journey. Slowly deepening the breath. Some gentle movements come back. Fingers, toes. Taking a last stretch if you wish. Finding your way onto your right hand side. Right arm's a pillow. Left hand's in front of the heart. Pushing into left hand, extend top leg, come to a comfortable seat. Sit tall, hands heart center, thumbs to sternum, and Jali Mudra. Thank yourself for coming to practice. Thank yourself for taking this time just for you. From my light to yours. Namaste. Thank you, Room, for participating. Thank you, Jennifer, for editing. Once it's uploaded, questions or comments can be on the video or info@athletica.ca or Instagram or Facebook, the usual places. Thank you very much. Have a good night.